So it's time to start dialing in the Interlagos car. The giveaway car has departed, although it's rebelling and very angry that it's left my possession, and that we broke the front lip pulling it into the trailer, and then the car started throwing misfire codes, which I kid you not, I've never had a check engine light on an E92 M3, and I've had 3 of them now, and figures. I send it off, as far as perfect, everything's perfectly fine, and then the car's holding on tight, and so hopefully we can get it fixed real quickly here. We found someone down in South Florida to get it dialed in. So today what I'm going to do is Eventuri Intake. I'm going to self-shoot this. The guys are busy editing stuff, so I'm going to shoot this with my new R5 that I've been using to vlog and see how it comes out. I've already done a video on this, so this isn't critical, but I wanted to shoot this on this camera, see how it comes out. Normally we shoot on a Canon C200s. We also have a C70, and then we have a red camera as well. But for this video, I'm just going to keep it simple, try to get some different angles for you, and show you what's going on. But first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do a quick finishing polish to the plenum and the intake components. And then I'm going to coat it with Carpro Deluxe, which is a higher temp wheel coating designed for wheels and calipers. We're going to use it on the engine bay, and let's hope it doesn't turn colors or whiten or anything like that. But right now I have the plenum. I have the little guide that goes up underneath, that's a little air guide, a little carbon air guide that goes in the duct down low. I also have the intake tube, and then the top of the air box, and a new Eventuri air filter, and then there's the little ram air guides. I actually have to order. I didn't realize they make those in carbon fiber as well, so we're going to do those too. So let's get started. All right, so here's the plenum. It's a little bit, I'm going to wipe it down. I'll show you that in a second, but wipe it down to prep it and then polish it. It's just a little hazy that I'm going to clean up with some Perfect Finish. Same thing here with the little air guide that goes down in the air duct, brake duct area. There's the intake elbow, the new Eventuri intake or filter, air filter, and then here's the cover here. So I'm just going to polish these up. While I'm doing this, I'm going to knock out the Dynon underdrive pulley as well, which I have. So that's another thing that can be a real simple adjustment or update as well. Gain a few horsepower. So this is the piece I'm talking about here. Eventuri actually makes a carbon fiber piece. And then here's what the car looks like to start. So a bunch of plastic. I'll show you all the parts and pieces we need to take out. This is the second one I'm doing, so hopefully this goes a lot smoother. But we'll make this engine bay look even better. Alright, just to prep it, because I've been touching the thing, just do a little Carpro eraser wipe down here. Our Press-All bottle, pretty standard stuff here. Just want to wipe it down, get all the oils and things off of it before I polish it. And I&D does a really good job of, I think they polish all of these from Eventuri when they get to I&D, but I think they do them in bulk. I'm not sure how they do it. I'm just making that up. I've just seen photos and stories on Instagram, but my good friends at I&D, they really do know paint really well. And for most any of you, most people, I would guess this would be more than sufficient. I just want to take it another little step and just really give it a jeweling polish after it being wrapped and finished. I'm just taking the extra steps with this car that I've never taken with a car before, because this truly is a car that I intend to keep. I say that now, but we'll see. Perfect Finish, see how this works. So I'm using a rotary extension on a long neck. We're going to tuck this in here, see how it goes. You really shouldn't prime a pad. You should grab a bead with rotary, but I find on the little 1-incher, it's best to do it this way. Okay, got some polish. I I really do like this camera. I have all these big fancy expensive cameras. This one's still expensive, but I like it a lot. Cleaning up here. That corner's tight to get. So the reason I'm using rotary here, I don't like rotary very much on anything. Part of it is some of it's lack of skill with rotary. I don't know. It's just it's more predictable. The dual action polishing is way more predictable, and I like to do it predictably. I just don't have thousands of hours with rotary like I do with dual action. But the advantage of the rotary for this here is the dual action, when I'm trying to tuck into these tight corners, is going to be moving left and right, up and down. So as I go into here, into this tight spot, you know, I can get in there pretty close without the backing plate hitting. But if I'm attempting to do that with dual action, it's not going to work. Spread the product around. Hopefully it doesn't fling. I like to run it as slow as I can run it while the pad still spins. This extension that I have on here is made by Rupes. We have them in the store. It only works in rotary mode. I'm going to end up coming back over this bulk area with a bigger pad. Not that I need to, but it's just going to be how it works out when I look through this. So I'm going to do all these cracks and crevices here, and I'll come back to you and show you the bulk polish. Okay, so now I'm going to dual action polish the bulk of this. I think I can get the rest of it around here with a 3-inch. So this is the Flex PXE80. I'm going to put a 3-inch pad on here. Always prime. I say always prime, but priming I don't think really matters all that much, but it's one of those things that certainly can't hurt other than wasting some product. Gonna prime it up. And we'll put some product on here, just a couple of dots. More does not equal better polishing. I really don't love this polisher. It's okay. I think our corded polisher days are done. We're very limited. Milwaukee comes out. I'm sure Rupes is going to be coming out at some point with a battery power here soon. Again, I&D does a great job of sending these things off. If you're not a crazy person, you'd be fine. The main thing I wanted to refine was those little cracks, crevices. I hope I don't regret doing all this extra work and then put a coating on the in the engine bay and it turns white on me or something crazy. I'd be taking the whole thing back off and repolishing it. I got rid of the purple stuff, the Precision Pro or Plus or whatever the heck they call it. This is the most visible part of the whole thing, so it's a really nice finish on this. There's a few little imperfections, but it's really nice. This is better than any other carbon fiber piece I think I've ever owned. I don't know that I've done a lot of one-arm operation with the PXC, but it seems to be okay. Put my arm in here and lean into it. Oh yeah. Nice. So I'm gonna do the same thing to this little guy here and clean it up. Much better, even though you're not really gonna see this thing. Much better. Alright, last piece. Okay, now I'm going to use panel wipe, but I'm not going to spray panel wipe direct. Panel wipe on the towel. I'm going to wipe these nice and clean so that my coating will adhere. There isn't any polish residue left over. Carplo Deluxe. I think I still have a little left in the bottle. You need nitrile rubber. If you don't do nitrile rubber, if you do EPDM rubber, it'll eat right through it. I wiped it down really well. Take the coating. Put on my little suede applicator. Put it on. Deluxe is good for plastics, for painted surfaces, for emblems, for rubber, for pretty much anything. Trim, wheels, brakes, calipers. Because this won't be exposed to the elements, single coat. Single coat of Deluxe, single coat of Glitz. That's all I'll need. More than what I need. I normally let Deluxe sit like a minute or so and then start leveling it. Waffle Weave is not the best coating removal towel, but I didn't want to go over next door, and these are some of my older towels, so it's time to cycle some of these out, and so I figured I'll just ruin a couple of these on this real simple project. So I'm not removing the coating, I'm leveling. Make sure I'm not trying to buff it off here. I'm just trying to get any high spots or excess. So you're basically flattening it out, if you will. Stuff is so grabby. compared to, you know, CSL. And then the gliss, when I put the topper on here later today, gliss will make it nice and hydrophobic and slick. Deluxe offers the chemical resistance, so when you get funky stuff that ends up in your engine bay from the hood vents, everything on here will just wipe nice and clean. So I do want to make sure that I let this cure before I start the engine up. So I'm going to let this sit for a day or two before I start anything up. Gosh, that's beautiful. I guess if I was really obsessed, I would coat the bottom too, but I'm not going to. Here's how it comes, like this. Sealed. Comes with a applicator block, certification sticker. We have this in stock too, so super helpful if you buy this stuff from me. Instructions if you want, and some suede applicators. You don't want to buy this on Amazon. You can get some off, some stuff that's expired or old or not authentic. You want to buy this from me, which I buy it from Corey at CarPro US. Again, I understand that this is a bit ridiculous to do this to internal underhood components, but I'm just enjoying the process with this car and going to the nth degree. You know, this is I paid 120 grand for this 800-mile car that I'm going to drive around all over the place. So I'm going to do the work to, one, it's fun to play with the car, and then secondly, it'll make it easier to maintain and care for it. Just like polishing, more product is not better. You can only put a single layer, or you can only put a single layer on at a time, and so any extra product, you're just going to be wiping it off, throwing it away in your towel. So you'll learn what the right amount is as you do more. This stuff is super duper grabby. Alright, there's our Deluxe application. So I'm going to let this sit while I take apart the engine bay, engine compartment. And then later this afternoon, we'll put a coat of gliss on here and we'll install. Alright, so now we're going to put our coats of gliss on top, or a single coat of gliss on all these items, because they've been sitting for several hours. So I'm going to put these on, and then we'll let the gliss sit while I'm doing the underdrive pulleys. So this timing has worked out pretty well. And then you'll notice this stuff goes on like butter. Like warm butter. Melted butter. It's great. It's pretty darn good, doesn't it? And this stuff wipes off real smoothly, nice and easily. You could put multiple coats of this if you wanted, but I think a single coat of Deluxe, single coat of gliss is fine. but you can layer, like unlike CSL that you can't layer, you can layer gliss on top of itself if you wanted to. Or I'm sorry, Deluxe. So like on wheels, I'll generally put 2 coats of Deluxe and a single coat of gliss. Stop looking at this under the lights because they must sand this stuff pretty heavily, and so there's some deeper sanding marks that you really have to hammer down to get out, and I'm not going to do that. Nice. It's super slick. After I wipe this off, then I'm going to pull the fan out so I have room to reach the pulleys, and we'll find out if I've gotten any better at installing stuff. Pulleys are kind of a pain to do. You know, my first days of wrenching on cars, it took me forever to do. Should be better. We're about to find out though. Alright bros, that's a wrap. I'd say that looks pretty darn good. You can see those sanding marks? I'm going to have to polish the crap out of that. It's a lot of heavy, deep sanding marks. I'm probably going to have to sand this thing. This piece here I'm talking about, the cover. So even with my polishing, they're still in there. The intake tube looks great, and the plenum looks fantastic, so that's fine. But these are, you can see those prominent deep gouges here. I really couldn't see them. You see them right here, but they're like, that's from, you know, sanding the clear coat. So I just have to, I might rotary the whole thing. Shoot, I don't know if I still have my rotary. But maybe I'll sand it, 3000 grit it, and then, you know, compound and finish it. So there we go.